My fiancé asked for an open relationship 1 month before our wedding, so I gave him exactly what he wanted. Marcus brought it up while I was meal prepping. He said his coworker mentioned how couples who explore before marriage have stronger relationships. I asked if there was someone specific. He got defensive, saying I was paranoid and this wasn't about anyone else, but he couldn't look at me. I said okay, not because I wanted to, but because saying no would just make him hide it. At least this way I'd know what I was dealing with. He looked shocked, then relieved. I felt sick. The next day I downloaded the same apps Marcus already had on his phone. I'd seen them the night before, still open to some girl's profile. Sophie from his building. They'd been messaging for weeks. I matched with David, a lawyer who actually asked about my interests. I agreed to dinner Friday to see if Marcus would react. When I mentioned my date, Marcus froze mid-bite and asked who I matched with. I showed him David's profile. His jaw tightened. He asked if I was really going through with it. Friday came. I wore the black dress from our engagement photos. Marcus asked if that wasn't too much for a first date. I didn't answer. David was decent. Asked about my design work, shared client stories, didn't try touching me. When he walked me to my car, he kissed my cheek and said he'd like to see me again. I got home at 11. Marcus was awake, pretending to watch TV. He asked how it went. I said nice, that David wanted a second date. His hands shook. Over 2 weeks, I saw David 4 more times. Museum, coffee, marina walks. He knew my situation. I'd been honest. Marcus went on 2 dates. Came home angry the first time, saying she looked nothing like her photos. Didn't talk about the second, just went to bed. He stopped eating as much. Checked his phone constantly, then put it down frustrated. One night I heard him tell his friend Jake maybe he'd made a mistake. He'd expected me to sit home crying while he explored with Sophie. Thought I'd be too heartbroken to date. 2 weeks before the wedding, David invited me to a work event. I told Marcus I'd stay at Emma's after. He lost it, asking if I'd humiliate him by spending the night with some stranger. I asked why it was different when he did it. He admitted he'd stopped seeing anyone because he couldn't handle thinking about me with David, then confessed about Sophie. They'd kissed months ago at happy hour, and he convinced himself he needed to explore those feelings. Except she rejected him when he said we had an open relationship. He begged me to stop seeing David, said we could go back to normal. I asked if he'd slept with Sophie before suggesting this. He said no. I didn't believe him. I stayed at Emma's 4 days, realized I couldn't marry someone who'd risk everything over a coworker crush, someone who only cared about my feelings once his plan backfired. I came home Tuesday. Marcus had cleaned everything, bought groceries, written an apology letter, promised counseling, postponing the wedding, whatever I needed. I gave him back the ring. He cried, asking about therapy first. I said no. I didn't trust him anymore. I moved out that weekend. His mom called saying I was dramatic, that men make mistakes. I hung up. 3 months later, I'm still seeing David. It's casual, slow, but he's never made me question if he wants to be with me. Marcus emailed last week saying he's in therapy and realizes how badly he messed up. Hopes I'm happy. I deleted it.